Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I am in the most beautiful ancient woodland today. It is, I can't tell you where, it's a beautiful ancient forest. It reminds me of Middle Earth. It reminds me of the Dark Ages, of medieval times. I can easily see people camping underneath this beautiful old tree next to me, having a fire 1,000 years ago. Easily, it's beautiful. I can hear crows, I can even hear parakeets in the trees. The place is alive, and I've already seen a muntjac deer cross our path up the road. Now, there's two new things about today's camp that are new to me and the channel. Number one, I'm camping with Dan, so I'm not solo camping. Dan doesn't want his face seen for good reasons, so I'll show you bits of Dan and you won't see too much of Dan, but Dan is here. Number two, I am bivvy camping tonight. So I've got a bivvy bag, my Defense 4, that's it, and a tarp. No tent, no hammock. And it's going to get really cold later, maybe -3, -4, so it's going to get interesting. It's going to be good, it's going to be a great experience, a bit of an adventure. So I need to get set up. We're losing the light really fast, and then go get some fire prep done. So, all good. We'll see you in a minute. Okay, shelter is up. It's literally an A-frame ridge line between two trees low down. I'll try to get some footage in a minute, but it's getting really dark out here now. Quick time check, it's now 20 to 5 and it is still -2, and it's a really cold -2. You can't see it with the lights. Dan left his phone back at the car, so he's trudged all the way back to the car. I've got the shelter up, and I really do need to get some fire prep going. It's bloody cold when you stop though, it's for real. See you in a minute. Okay, and here is the firelighter that I made. You can see the two layers from the video in my shed. I'm just going to literally just light it up here. Right, it's catching. Here we go. Right, let's just pop. I don't think it's going to smother it actually. I think it would be really hard to put that flame out, even if I tried. Right, we can just load it up. And remember, these are wet, frozen twigs. It's the least ideal of firewood. Right, you can see that's burning nicely. Rather than record the whole thing and time lapse it, I'll come back in a couple of minutes once it's caught. Okay, so the fire's burning great. The Firelighter worked amazingly. That was the big eggshell box lid. It was just full of wax and goodness, and it lit everything up quickly. And look, we got a really strong fire going super quickly. I've just set my chair up under a tarp, and I'm just chilling for the minute. Lots of sawing. I'm pretty knackered. I need to have a little smoke, chill out, have a beer maybe, and then maybe think about dinner. I'm not sure. Probably lots more firewood gathering, because that's what's going to be on the menu, I think. Right, back in a while. Not bad. I've got another one of these big boys, and I just want to see what happens when I put it on top, so let's just do that. Now I'm imagining a lot of this wax is going to drip down onto all the wood below, which is no bad thing. This is the only beer that we could get at the local convenience store. So Kronenberg 1664 it is. It's not bad. Could be a lot worse, but could be a lot better. Cheers. Okay, so it's 7:20 and it's -3. The beers are really cold. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, they're still molten liquid, but it's so cold. It's actually an amazing benefit having just ice cold crisp beer. It's a really nice benefit, but it's bloody cold. I mean, if you get anywhere away from the fire now, you feel it. It bites. It's really cold. Like -3, but it feels like -5 or worse. Anyway, gonna enjoy my beer. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I'm setting up my sleep system. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do the bivvy bag. I had to buy a new sleep pad that had an R rating, and I had somewhere to go somewhere where I could actually pick it up. So I went to the bushcraft store naturally, and there you go. So I've got one of these. This is a Robens Campground 65, I believe. It's a self-inflating mat. I'm going to give it a go. I wanted to get the Snugpack Antarctic mat, but I couldn't get it delivered in time or find it anywhere to be picked up. So this thing is a bit of a chunker. It's pretty heavy, and I've got no idea how it's going to work. And it's literally -3 out here. It's freezing. So I hope I've got enough R value in this between this, and I'll show you my setup in a second. Oh, and it's just gonna loft up, is it?
Yeah, no, it's
Wow. Can you? That does look cold. Because it is bloody cold. Right. But I'm right by the fire just down here. It's not a problem. It's nice. It's great. Here is my brand new Mil-Tec bivvy bag. Again, because on top of everything I've got a full hammock system, got a partial tent system. I do not have a bivvy. So I got myself a Mil-Tec one, and I probably should have waited, and I really wanted to get something like the Dutch Army one, but they're hard to find, and the ones that you can find are like 125 quid. I thought, I don't know, not sure about that, so this is the Mil-Tec one. It's camo, it's thick, whatever it is, I don't know. I don't think it's Gore-Tex, but it's a breathable membrane, basically. It's got a zip down one side, and it's going to do the job for me tonight. It bloody well better do, or I'm screwed. So I'm just going to wait for the mat to loft up, or breathe up, or whatever, and then I'm going to stick it in this. Okay, dinner tonight consists of minced beef, that is. In a kind of a Mexican kind of a taco style. I was going to do like basically taco meat, but without the shells. So I'm going to add rice and just kind of do that, really. I'm winging this one, so we'll see how it goes. Remember the golden rule? Lots of cheese. because I love it. The sour cream. It works so well. And that is dinner. Time check, it's now 10:15 and it's -3. It's nice and cold, but we have a lovely big fire. Listening to Spotify tunes, probably would say 90s and zeros rock, alt rock, prog rock, rock. Okay, it's now 10 past midnight, and according to it is -3 with a real feel of -4. There's some freezing fog. Well, it's been freezing fog all night, but at about 1:30 it looks like something really naughty is going to happen, like ice is going to fall out of the sky or some shit, I don't know. But I'm going to post a graphic because I've just taken a screenshot, so here's that. So it should get interesting. Big, good, strong fire going on. We found a really big, massive, long, I don't know, 20-30 meter dead silver birch. And with my brand new silky saw, my big boy Outback edition, which is silly money, but oh my god, it goes through wood like butter. It's fantastic. I need to refine my pull strokes, but it's brilliant. No regrets. Goodbye. Okay, and here we are inside the tarp, a regular DD hammocks tarp set up in an A-frame. There's my setup, here's Dan's, and all good. I just want to show you inside this quickly. The very base layer is one of these thin silver light foam things doubled over. Then I've got an Alp Kit Easy Sleeper, which has got a very low R value, but it's going to provide some protection from the ground floor frost. Then I've got the Mil-Tec Bivvy right here. In the Bivvy is a Robens Campground 65, my my Corinthia Defense 4 trusty temper pillow, and probably using just a liner, a lightweight Sea to Summit reactor. Not the top end one, like 20 quid, 30 quid, but it'll just keep my Corinthia nice. And that's tonight's sleep. Okay, so whilst I was candle making and fire starting, experimenting, I thought it'd be a good idea to make a torch. I knew I was coming here, I knew it was going to be sub-zero, so I thought it'd be a better idea to have some extra light and maybe even heat. But in true Nick fashion, I got carried away. Now, if you take a look at this thing, it's actually ridiculous. I actually don't know what's going to happen to it. I have no wick in it. What this is a thick piece of wooden dowel wrapped with wire and a rag, a cotton rag. Sorry about the smoke. A wire and a cotton rag. We might have to re-record this. And then layers and layers of wax added with shavings, and lighter fuel added the whole way. I've got a video which I'll probably post of me making this, some kind of montage, because it's ridiculous. And I end up with this maybe 3 kilogram weapon of wax and incendiary material. So I'm going to light it up and see what happens. I've got no idea. It might just all fall off and be not very cool. It might just go up in one really big... I have no idea. Let's find out. Okay, let's just... I don't expect this to work. I'm just going to try and see what... Okay, we have ignition. All I literally did was, with my knife, was to make a hole through it, because that was set literally in a cup like you see it. Okay, this will probably take a second to get going. You made a flaming zombie spike? Works. Well, I did say I wanted a kind of a Tolkien or Middle Earth experience, so here is my torch. It's going great. It's been going for probably half an hour now. There we go. The only problem with it is it's spewing wax absolutely everywhere, and I don't really want to get it all over the forest. So less wax, more rag, I think.
And kids.
Oh yeah, kids, don't do this at home.
Or at all.
Shall I put in the fire?
Yeah, good idea.
Ouch. That's going to burn nice. Hi. On there. Focus on that. That is the greatest fire starter ever. It looks like Vader's funeral. Anyway. Goodbye, torch. Okay, unintended consequence. It wasn't that I just got wax on my hands. Look what it's done to the rubber protection. It's curled it off. That was a lot hotter than wax, your usual wax candle burns. Let's just say that. So definitely don't try this at home, kids. If I hadn't been wearing gloves, that might have been my hands, and that would have been a really messy, unpleasant experience. So instead I've got some cool gloves that have now got these weird claws on them. Don't do this at home. Okay, so during lockdown I was doing, we were all doing fire pits outside in the garden, all that stuff, and we got some of this stuff for the kids on the fire, and it's really cool. It does make coloured flames, but it's super toxic, horrible shit. So I'm going to chuck it on the fire and see what happens. Okay, it's 2:25 and there's some kind of ice storm, or the temperature has dropped, it's -4, and there's like ice crystals in the air, you just can't see it. It's going to be time to get into bed really soon. Okay, good night everybody. It's bloody freezing out here. It was meant to get warmer through the night, not colder. It's getting savage out here. I mean, it's good, but it's this really clean, savage, biting cold in the air. It's like this kind of an ice storm. It's gonna ice and hail and a wintry mix through the night until about 5, when then it starts really heavy rain. So it's gonna be fun. But my only small consolation is the weather forecast has been changing literally every hour. So who knows? It's all one big adventure. Right, I'm in my bag. We shall see if I have enough R's underneath my ass to save me from the floor. It's so cold. See you guys in the morning. Bye. Good morning. It's now about 10 o'clock in the morning. As you can see, it's a very wet, very damp, cold morning. It's not a bad night of sleep. It took me a few hours to get to sleep. I don't know why, I just could not get to sleep.
I wasn't cold at all. The Robens Campground 50 or 75 or whichever thing I'm sleeping on was bloody great, really good, comfortable. I didn't inflate it too much, absolutely no cold through from the floor, really great. It's a bit condensy in here this morning, it's a bit sort of semi-damp, but it's been most of this morning. So the bivvy was great, the sleep setup was great, not cold, really warm, really comfortable. So I need to think about getting up and getting packed up, or at least getting some breakfast going, do some fire tests, the usual stuff. But a really good, successful test of sub-zero gear. No problems whatsoever. And I was only in the Defence 4 with the Sea to Summit liner. One of these sort of thin liners. It's called the Reactor. And I did it really just to keep the Corinthia clean and not have to wash it at all. So, you know, really great test. Everything's good. That's that. I'm going to get up and I'll come back to you in a minute. And this beautiful long silver birch is exactly the one that we were living off of last night. If you look down here, this entire end, the entire head, all this down here got burned last night, the whole lot, processed the lot. And here's the tarp shelter, leaves pushed up against the side for wind resistance, and then tied between two trees with a ridgeline, with my standard ridgeline. We're actually down next to this downed tree on this side as well to give a little bit of protection. Okay, here are sleeping quarters in the shelter in a standard 3.5 by 3.5 DD hammocks multicam tarp. That's me on the left with the Robens Campground, and that's Dan on the right with an X-Ped. Okay, so in this box here I have 4 Firelighter tests. I have the wood mix with a built-in wick, the wood mix with 4 matchstick fuses, just the plain wax mix with no shavings in it, and some wooden wicks, a kind of a control which is just a plain wax mix with a wick, and finally just a single wood mix with a single candlestick in it. And I'm just curious to see which one of these burns the longest. Number 5 on the end here is looking like it's just about to die. Similarly, number 4 doesn't have much fuel, much wax visibly left. I can't tell with these two because of the density of the wood. They may all burn out fairly soon. Okay, numbers 1 and 2 now are really struggling, you can see there. I think number 2 is on its last legs, number 1 not far behind. Number 4 and number 5 still going relatively strong. Number 4, despite the fact it's really got very little fuel left, or none. It's now raining lightly, so the occasional drop is landing on the experiment, which is what you're seeing in terms of those mini explosions. It's just a real world test, that's all. Okay, it looks like number 4 has finally gone. So, the first one to finish that was actually burning. Oh no, there's a little bit in there, it's burning lightly, but it's pretty much done. The wax only mix finished before the wood mix. More experiments needed. But the 3 woods are still burning good. But they're burning quite weak, and I don't know how much they've got left in them. I think a lot of the wax mixture has burnt up. The wood has clearly slowed down the burn, or at least given it a longer burn time. It's like acted as a wick, a much bigger wick.
but it's not right now. We're coming up at 35 minutes, which is pretty great. Number 1 is on its last legs, and number 5 2. So I think what we can say at coming up to 36 minutes, the difference is it extended the burn time. The wood extended the burn time by a little bit, but not a significant amount. It's possibly worth doing it because it makes it much easier to light on the surface, but I don't know if it gives that much of an extended burn time. You can see number 5 is still going. Number 1 is really just about going. So we'll see. This wood mix has got something to it. I need to kind of zhuzh it up a bit more to see if I can squeeze out a longer burn time. Right, as you can probably hear, it's just started to rain and I need to go get packed up. So I'm going to go do that. So last night we had a really big scare. As Dan was connecting this brand new MSR tank to his burner, when he ignited it, there was a huge fireball and this thing started venting and it was bad. We were running, there was fire everywhere. We thought this thing was going to explode. Dan was kicked it around the camp to try to get it away from us. I dived for cover. It was messy. There's a small hole in the base of the valve there. So I would just say, if you're using these things, Dan in his 20 odd years of camping has never had that before. I don't use these things. So what I would say to you guys is check the base of these things. I know it's a rarity, but check the seal around these things as you're connecting them to make sure that there's no hole there's no manufacturing defects. Because if you ignite it, you are igniting obviously gas and it just starts venting, and it was just, I think, luck that it vented and didn't bang, it didn't explode. So that was some shenanigans. It really was. That's an MSR one. I don't know if it's just them or not good, really not good. So just reporting that back to you guys. Be careful, check your valves. Okay, I'm packing up and these are still running like 40 minutes later. This one and this one is still just got a few flecks of life in there. There you go, you see it's just still struggling. 40-minute runtime. Okay, a little post-mortem. There's a layer of wax still unburnt at the bottom of this wooden one. So the oxygen isn't getting down to the bottom there. That's an interesting finding. So this could have burnt for longer, but it didn't because it was oxygen starved of the fuel. Let's have a look at this one. No, that's still wet. There's nothing in there. Interesting. Okay, so I'm just unpacking and packing everything down, and my mat is absolutely wet from inside the Gore-Tex Bivvy bag, which is a shocker. I can't imagine that is all condensation. I think my Bivvy bag's got a leak in it. That's really not cool. It's brand new. Not impressed. Okay, it's peeing down for pack up, which is always joy, but it is the way of the world. Almost done. Just got the top to take down now, and we'll be all good. Okay, and we're all cleared up and ready to clear out. It's peeing down. Almost stops getting wet. It's been an amazing camp. Well, let's get out of here. Hi, right, all done. We're all packed up. Left no trace. It's raining. We need to get out of here. It's been a fantastic camp. That was a really great camp. I really enjoyed it. Couple of downsides. I need to investigate the condensation problem with my Bivvy bag. I don't know if that's a leak or condensation. I didn't expect to spend 60 quid on a Bivvy bag and get my mat wet. But that aside, the Corinthia Defence 4 with a liner in -3 to -4 was absolutely fine. I could not feel cold at all. The Robens Campground 50 mat as a comfort thing was really comfortable. I only had it semi-inflated. Not bad kit, it's just big and bulky. And the Firelighter experiment went really well. So Dan and I had a fantastic camp. I didn't expect, when we left home yesterday, we had tents packed. And by the time we got to site, we were in Bivvy bags in -4, feels like -5. A brilliant camp, a really great camp. I've got so much more confidence now for doing cold weather stuff. Without a tent, without a hammock. You know, it's kind of only easier from there, and that wasn't difficult. So,
I'm gonna go home, get dried up, get cleaned up, get some coffee in, do the all usual stuff. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this little mini adventure, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers guys, thanks, bye.
Not easy with 25-30 kilos on your back. That's a steep old hill. Right, back in the car, see you on the next one.